On its plains of stagnant ice moraine this Thursday afternoon in January, Raymore, Saskatchewan. Here we are on the west end of town, where Highway 6 is located. Well, it doesn't look like Vicky's is open today, maybe in the summertime. Looking into downtown Raymore along Railway Avenue and looking north up Highway 6. Melfort is up there. Watson, Regina is off to the left 100k south. And the crossing here is the main line of the Canadian National Railway. And now it's a Sunday in July. Looking eastward along Main or First Avenue. Railway or First Avenue. Sacred Heart Roman Catholic Church, the spire of. Back in January, and there's the post office. First one was opened here in 1909. Across the street from the post office is the old threshing machine and the 1984 Cargill concrete inland terminal. Tiny one. More agricultural machinery. The town museum is in the old church there. And stretching down Railway Avenue, somebody better get up there on a ladder and nail that false front back on the face of that building there, lest it peel off. The hotel dates from 1911, I think. Looks like the original. Although it was supposed to have been a 3-story edifice. Cell phone tower in the background there. And another look at Sacred Heart. Looks like it would have been finished in the 1950s. And a closer look at the museum. And central to every prairie community is the cenotaph, lest we forget. Behind the cenotaph is railway property. It looks like CN crew quarters there. The Grand Trunk Pacific surveyed this section of its main line in 1906 and laid rails along here in 1907 as far as Siemens. The 1962 Saskatchewan Wheat Pool A with the 1953 Crib Annex. The first elevator here was known as the Scott for operator Thomas Scott. The second was the National Grain Company. Until recently, what the locals called the Twin Towers. Decrepit old elevators stood along here as well. Looking northwest up the rails that the Grand Trunk Pacific called its alphabet line, so named because almost all the towns are named in alphabetical order. Looking at the west side of Main Street. First store was opened in 1908 here, likely by Archie McLean. Harold Martin was a druggist. James Tate, general merchant. Harry Golden, general merchant. There's the museum, the cenotaph, and the Grand Trunk Pacific station would have stood right there where the decorations are, likely. And the east side of Main Street. William Kelly and William Moody were the first hoteliers here. Oh, a 1950 DeSoto Custom for sale at East Raymore. And there's that loose false front I was mentioned. Westward up Main, or up Railway, pardon me. And it looks like they're flooding the curling rink. Gonna have a bond spiel or maybe a briar. first settlers in this area were the Watts, the Headleys, Fass, Jones, McLean. Began arriving in 1904 to settle in here, along with some German folks as well. Looking east along the rail line, there's the rec center and pool. Nice. Raymore became a village on August 11th, 1909, and a town on August 1st, 1963. And here we are, back in July, looking eastward along 2nd Avenue. Population is 568 in 2011. Volunteer fire department, as you can see. Down from 581 in 2006, which was down from a peak population of around 700 in 1986. Co-op foods. And looking western down 2nd. Lovely day. Credit Union. And here's west side of Maine in summertime. The station. Down at that end of town, right down there, was a Type D. It's built by the Grand Trunk Pacific in 1907. It was replaced by a freight passenger shelter in 1919. It might have been a fire or something. It was right down there at the head of Main Street. This was in turn replaced by a Type G in 1921. Don't know where that one went or when. Here's the Baptist Church sharing space with the Anglicans. I guess since the Anglican Church got moved down to be a museum. And here's the edifice in summertime. Right kitty corner is the Elks Lodge on Queen Street and 2nd Avenue. And 3rd Avenue and the United Church. I don't know when this one dates from. Looks like maybe the 20s. Built as a Presbyterian church, you think? Methodist? Presbyterian. And right across from the United Church is this lovely old home. And back in summer. And an old barn just for the heck of it. And a ball diamond. Get on your snowshoes. Get out the orange balls. Today, home of the rebels. Might mention that the museum is made up of the 1921 Lutheran Church from Quinton and the 1910 St. Martin's Anglican from here. Raymore was once in the rural municipality of Kutawa, but in January the 1st, 2004, Kutawa and Mount Hope amalgamated. And now Raymore is the headquarters of the RM of Mount Hope, 278. Raymore, Saskatchewan.